So welcome to today's one-on-one chat with Dan and Rachel. And we're lucky enough to have Dan and Rachel in the office today, all the way from Scotland. And we are going to have a little chat with them about the cruise and the trip that we're doing in 2026. So Dan, if you could kick us off with just an overview on where we're going and what we're doing on the trip in 2026.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Helen. Yeah, this is, in our opinion, one of the most exciting voyages around Scotland that there's ever been. So we're going to replicate a voyage and add a few extra bits into it. One that was done in 1966, and it was one that my grandfather was part of, and I've been wanting to do it for years. And so on the 60th anniversary, we're going to voyage all the way around the west coast of Scotland to some of the most remote islands that we've got, like St Kilda, North Rona, the Shants, and up into Shetland, Orkney, and back down the east coast.
Wow, okay. Can you tell us a little bit about both of your backgrounds and your expertise in the expedition field?
Well, we run a company called Wild Discovery, and we're based in Scotland, and we run wildlife tours all the way around Scotland. Basically, the best areas at the best times of year to see the best wildlife.
Yeah.
And we've been doing that since just before COVID.
Okay, yeah.
And we both work in the expedition industry as well.
Yeah.
So I'm an expedition leader, and Rach is also a naturalist and guide on board. So between us, we drive zodiacs, we give lectures, we make sure the ship is going in the right place along with the captain. And a place like Scotland, we know like the back of our hand.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a real pleasure getting 100 people together and getting you to some of these incredible places.
Excellent. So Dan, what was the motivation for you to want to embark on this journey?
Well,
that we're doing?
It's obviously a phenomenal place. The voyage itself, as a standalone voyage, is truly amazing, and it's not replicated as far as we know anywhere else at the moment. But 60 years ago, in 2026, my grandfather was part of the first voyage, so far the only voyage that's done this route, and it was a Scottish Ornithologists Club route, a voyage called the Scottish Seabird Study Cruise, and they visited all these remote islands, and at the time there were 900 delegates on one ship, the Danera, so a massive post-Second World War vessel, and my grandfather was a lecturer on board, and it was this incredible amalgamation of ornithologists and people wanting to explore the islands from all over the planet, which included a lot of the biggest names in ornithology at the time, and I've been wanting to replicate it for years, and the opportunity has come along. So finally we've got the ship, we've got the voyage, and we're replicating exactly the same islands plus a few additionals as well. And there's going to be some big changes on some of these islands compared to what it was like 60 years ago. So it's very exciting to be able to see this.
And as well, your grandfather was a surgeon, but in his spare time was a wildlife filmmaker.
So he documented some of the islands, like the Isle of May in particular, over the course of a number of summers in the 60s and 70s particularly. So it's going to be great getting back to those, and we're hoping to have some of the footage digitised to be able to show this on the voyage as well.
Oh wow, it'd be interesting to see how much it's changed
Very
or not
much
changed.
so.
Being such a remote area. Nice. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
So I know there's lots of puffins around Scotland. What else can we expect to see on the trip that we'll be doing?
Well, in addition to the birds, I'll let you talk about the birds, but there's a heap of other wildlife as well. One thing that people always love seeing are marine mammals or coastal marine mammals, so otters, things like that, on the west coast of Scotland. The best place in Scotland to see them. And whales and dolphins as well. We're crossing some really rich waters from humpback whales. We've seen an increase in those in the Scottish waters recently. Orcas as well, killer whales. They can be seen feeding along the coasts, along with a plethora of other species as well, and of course seabirds that go along with that.
And I mean, when the voyage goes is spring, so the entire natural world is going through this massive positive flux in the northern hemisphere. We've got all the migrant birds that are coming both back north to breed in and around Scotland, but also passing through as well. So there'll be hundreds of thousands of puffins at some of the sites,
Yeah.
tens of thousands of gannets, fulmars, Manx shearwaters that have spent the winter off Argentina,
Wow.
guillemots, razorbills, black guillemots all lining the cliffs.
Yep.
And then the flora will start to be coming into bloom
yes.
as well.
Yep.
So it'll be looking pretty nice on the
Yep.
coast. And then you throw in things like the Neolithic remains, places like Musa Broch, which are just incredible. So I mean, Scotland is just peppered with historical sites, and you mix in that wildlife and the history and the culture, and it's an unbeatable mix, I think.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit more about the conservation side of the voyage and how that plays a part in what you're doing?
Yeah, sure. It's a really important element for us. So we will be visiting lots of places that only are or look as amazing as they are because of work that's gone into preserve them, conserve them, and so we try to support as much in the way of conservation as we can on the voyage. So we have two partners at the moment, which are the Scottish Ornithologists Club, and they were the original founding body that took the first voyage in 1966 around the islands, and also the Hebridean Whale and Dolphin Trust. So, as the name suggests, they're based in the west coast of Scotland in the Hebrides, and they run an amazing programme of training, and research, and data collection, and we're going to be supporting them as well on the voyage, as well as the different places that we go to. And when we get up onto Shetland, for instance, we will have people from the RSPB, the Royal Society of Protection of Birds. They will come onto the ship and deliver some informal presentations, a bit of discussion around conservation on the islands. So there'll be loads of little bits of information here and there, right throughout every single day, as well as directly supporting conservation bodies as we go.
Wow, that's really good. Yeah. Yeah, and you have some really nice long days at that time of year. So there'll be lots of zodiac exploration.
Lots of zodiac exploration, you know, weather permitting.
Yeah,
we get in along under the cliffs. There's an amazing network of sea caves and arches that we'll explore through on a couple of sites. Places like St Kilda, of course, are phenomenal, and we'll try and get in and around some of the islands there as well. We'll ship crews through some of the stacks. So I mean, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and we'll get to meet some locals on the island.
Some locals,
Local people as well as local animals. So it's such a remote place to go to, and people like to see people, don't they, when you go there?
Yeah, very much so. And places like Shetland, Orkney, the Western Isles, they all have very, very distinct communities of people, and we will undoubtedly be meeting, getting to know a few of those. Like Fair Isle, for instance, has got a fantastic knitting heritage, and so we'll spend time on Fair Isle. There'll be the opportunity to buy knitwear, as well as see the new birds observatory and the puffins and things like that.
Now, is there anywhere in particular that you're excited to get to, both of you?
There's a lot of possibilities. For me, there's so many. Shetland is always a highlight. Whenever we go there, we absolutely love it. There's so much to see. From a wildlife and a landscape, it's so different from everywhere else because it's so much further north. I don't think a lot of people realise how far north it is, so it's quite a different landscape and habitat. But the wildlife on Shetland is usually, whatever it is usually spectacular. So it's, you know, orcas hunting along the coastline. You've got huge gannet colonies, and spectacular scenery to do with that. So that's always a highlight for me, I think.
What about you, Dan?
I've got two. So St Kilda, because it is simply world class. It's utterly spectacular. And again, that combination of wildlife and heritage as well makes it pretty unique. And then the other place is the Shant Islands, which are a little archipelago in the Minch, and they are the site of the most successful conservation project for Scottish seabirds. And they had a complete eradication of rats, and now there's 250,000 puffins. And we are going to get out there, we're going to be there first thing in the morning with all the puffins on the water around the edge of the island, and it's going to be absolutely mind-boggling.
Nice. Yeah. Sounds brilliant. We'll look forward to it.
Yeah, so are we.
Nice. So we're travelling on the Sea Spirit, so that's a small 114 passenger vessel. I travelled on it this year around Scotland and up to the Faroes. It is a really comfortable vessel, and it's such a great ship to get to know all the expedition staff. So every day somebody will be doing lectures and talks. Is that right?
Yeah, there's definitely quite a strong educational theme throughout. So you'll have an experienced team of naturalists and guides, and they'll be giving lectures when we have time during the day, because of course there'll be a lot of activities as well. But also in the evenings we like to come together, recap what's happened during the day, if anybody's got any questions, and of course briefing about the next day as well. So and of course the interpretation when we're out and about doing things, whether it's the zodiac cruising, talking to you about the birds, about the history as well. Yeah.
And there's a lovely like theatre area with a big screen for you to show everybody photos and people to share photos, and then there's the bar, and the downstairs there's the restaurant where it's really nice. All the hospitality staff are amazing on board.
It's a perfect platform from which to explore the islands. I mean, we love small expedition ships, so anything around 100 passengers is just ideal. Big enough that it's got the comfort and the stability, small enough that you can actually get off very quickly, and 10, 11 zodiacs, and we'll be in the water and exploring away, so it's absolutely ideal.
That's perfect. So we'll look forward to having the voyage in 2026, and hopefully if you have any questions or need anything else, just feel free to email us all, and we can go from there.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thanks.